Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Noble, and today we're going to be doing the Armed Dragon Thunder deck profile, or really I guess new Armed Dragon deck profile. This is one I am thrilled to get into with you guys. I wanted to do it like a week and a half ago, but there was one card in particular I was waiting on, and I still haven't gotten it. I said, screw it, I'm not waiting any longer. I am so excited about this deck profile. When I was like chilling on the House of Champs channel, and I found out about, he kind of went over this when it got announced, I was super excited. Armed Dragon was something that was always really special to me back in the day. I've never owned a level 10 ever in my life, so like the fact I have an Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 now is kind of cool. But I'm just so excited that they like reamped this archetype, and like it's not like crazy meta or anything like that, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it does kind of hit you some nostalgia as well. And the artwork is just amazing. I really do like it a lot. So before we get into this, if you haven't already done so, now's a great time to subscribe, hit the bell so you become part of the notification team, smash the like button, and let's get right on into this Armed Dragon deck profile. I'm so excited. Alright, so to kick this deck profile off, we're starting off with triple Armed Dragon Thunder level 3. This card looks so good. I really like the fact that they kind of made everything at least a super secret or ultra rare. It looks really good. So this card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 3 while on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon Thunder level 3 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 5 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can draw a card, which is really cool. This is way better than having to like, I think, what was it, like live a turn and then summon level 5. I can't remember. I think that's what it was. This is way better than that for sure. Just definitely easier to get out level 5 and kind of start your engine from there. And then the fact that if it's sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can draw a card, and that's actually really handy. I can really see this being used as a tech in a lot of Dragon decks, just being able to gain that advantage from firing off an effect and be able to dig deeper into the deck. That's really, really cool. There's a lot of potential there. But yeah, 3 level 3s is definitely pretty mandatory in my humble opinion. Next up, we're playing triple. Now, I'm sure you cannot guess what this next card is at all. I'm sure, it's just a spicy tech, right? Nah, it's definitely just Armed Dragon level 5. We're playing 3 of this. Again, love the super rare. That looks great. So this card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 5 on the field or in the graveyard. I love the fact that it comes that in the graveyard as well. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon Thunder level 5 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon one level 7 or a lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. If this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add one level 5 or higher wind Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Again, way better than the original. And the last effect, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, if it's actually sent in the graveyard at all, it doesn't even have to be the field, if you beat your hand, which is really cool. To activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add a level 5 or higher wind Dragon monster. That's really good as well. Again, you can really throw this into some Dragon decks if you could figure that out, but just really helpful, really a lot easier to go into your higher levels from there. I'm not playing any of the original ones in this one. I kind of really wanted to just for nostalgia purposes, but for consistency purposes, I didn't do that. But if you want to do that, I mean, honestly, you could, because just nostalgia, right? Next up, we're playing triple Armed Dragon Thunder level 7. I only pulled one of these out of like, 62, 63 packs or something like that. So that was a little frustrating, but I had to order 2 more, but it's fine because this card, what it does is this card's name becomes Armed Dragon level 7 while, you guessed it, on the field or in the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Armed Dragon Thunder level 7 once per turn. You can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon at one level 10 or lower Armed Dragon monster from your hand or deck. I really love the fact that it's from the deck as well. It really would have limited this archetype if it was from the hand, for sure, for all the discarding you have to do. From the field, blah, 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 blah. Okay, where am I? Oh, and then, if this card is sent to the graveyard, to activate a Dragon monster's effect, you can add one Armed Dragon card from your deck to your hand. This is a really, really good one. Just being able to add any Armed Dragon card, doesn't have to be a monster, a spell, or trap, any Armed Dragon card, and it really does help in the consistency if you use this effect as well. So that's it for the Armed Dragon. I'm just messing. Of course, we're playing double Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. Shout out to House of Champs. This is a really beautiful OCG. Like Ultimate Rare. It looks so good. I'm only playing double this one. I decided not to max it out after some playtesting. If you wanted to do that, you could. I just feel like it kind of breaks the consistency a little bit more. If you're going into 3 level 10s, that was me cracking my knuckles. I'm sorry. If you're going into 3 level 10s, Like, that's a grindy game, boy. Like wow. You know, I haven't ever had a game so far where I needed to go into 3 of these. But so Armed Dragon Thunder level 10 is just a bad boy. I mean, this card is awesome. I mean, look at that thing. So if this card is special summoned by the effect of Armed Dragon monster, it gains the following effects based on its attack. 1+, its name becomes Armed Dragon level 10. 10+, control it cannot be switched. 100+, cannot be destroyed by battle. 1000+, once per opponent's turn. Alright, that's important. Quick effect, you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one other card on the field, destroy it, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. 10,000+, once per turn, you can destroy all other cards on the field. So this card, I mean, it can do a lot. It can do a lot. It really has a ton of potential, and if you max out its potential, it's just devastating, right? Just being able to wipe out all their cards on the field once per turn, that's stupid. I mean, that's just crazy. So this card is really awesome, and again, if you wanted to max this out, you could do that. I'm also playing double Armed Dragon level 10 white. I do want to make a quick disclaimer. I don't have White Veil yet. Oh, that was the other thing I was waiting on too. There's actually 2 cards. So yeah, I don't have White Veil yet, so I would definitely throw that in if you have it. I'm still waiting for it to get here. But yeah, this card is really cool, especially with being able to search out White Veil. But with this card, you can't be normal summoner set, must first be special summoned by its own effect. You can banish Armed Dragon monsters from your field and or graveyard, whose total levels equal 10, special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add 1 White Veil from your deck to your hand. Again, if you have it, I would definitely play it. It's a good card. You can only use this effect of Armed Dragon level 10 white once per turn. You take no effect damage, which is awesome. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can destroy 1 card on the field, which doesn't target as well, so that's really cool, and it's easy to get out onto the field as well. And also being able to search out White Veil is really awesome, and you don't take effect damage, so that's cool. Alright, next up, we're playing Triple Artillery Catapult Turtle. This card really helps the consistency of this deck a lot. You can treat 1 monster, especially on 1 guy, the Fierce Knight monster, or 1 level 5 Dragon monster from your hand or deck. You only use this effect once per turn. Literally it's just a turboing out level 5. Like, that's really cool. Just the fact that like you can tech this in and it really helps the consistency. You're basically playing 6 copies of level 5. That is awesome. Next up, I'm playing just 1 Pinkertops, and I'm also playing Triple Ash, and then also playing Triple Draw and Lock. These are just the hand traps that I decided to go with. If you wanted to play literally any other hand trap package, you could do that. It's a little bit of a bigger one, I guess, but if you wanted to play anything else, you could do that. But I really love Draw and Lock a lot. I really like, excuse me for the pun, locking my opponent out of the extra deck, and Ash is just great. I mean, you run into these, man. I mean, that's good. That's really good. Okay, so that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's move on to the spells. So for the spells, I'm playing Triple Armed Dragon Flash. This is one of the ones that I freaking ordered it like 2 weeks ago. This mug has still not come in. Kind of frustrating. So this is a really cool card. It looks fantastic. It's a quick play spell. Special summon 1 level 3 Armed Dragon monster from your deck in defense position. You only activate 1 Armed Dragon Flash per turn. Low-key wish it was level 5 or lower. I really do. But that might not be totally fair, so I kind of get it, Konami. But I do low-key wish it was level 5 or lower, not just level 3. But it's just awesome. And the fact it's a quick play spell as well, I mean, that's just really handy. It really helps the consistency a lot. Next up, playing Triple Armed Dragon Lightning. This card is really cool. I do wish this was like a super rare at least. But if Armed Dragon monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card from the graveyard to the graveyard instead. Excuse me. This is a continuous spell, by the way. You can target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control, then activate 1 of these effects. It gains attack equal to its level times 100, even if this card leaves the field, which that's really awesome. Add 1 Armed Dragon monster with an equal or lower level than it from your graveyard to your hand, which it's interesting that it's specifically the graveyard, but it's cool, right? Because if you're using this on level 10, obviously you're going to want to use the attack gain or something, but if you're using something for lower, you're already going to have Armed Dragons in the graveyard, so you might want to get those resources back to your hand. So this is really cool. I actually think that, being able to choose one of your graveyard or deck, I kind of think this is the better choice in this, option. But being able to pull things from your deck is always great too. But this is really good. I think it works because a lot of times when you're using this card, you're going to have resources in the graveyard to add back to your hand anyway. I'm playing just double of Armed Dragon Blitz. I didn't really want to max this out. You target 1 Armed Dragon monster you control, take 1 monster with the same name from your deck to the graveyard, and either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, but it cannot attack directly. It's the only caveat. You can only activate one Armed Dragon Blitz per turn. You cannot special summon monsters every turn you activate this card, except dragon monsters, which doesn't really matter for the most part. But there's not really a specific extra deck for this, so if you're planning to go into like access code or something, do keep that in mind. But yeah, I didn't really want to max this out. If you wanted to, that's fine, I guess you could. Because this deck is not at all reliant on the extra deck, triple copies of Pot of Extravagance felt really right to me. Of course, there's a lot of powerful cards you can go into in the extra deck, but this isn't reliant at all on the extra deck, and just being able to get that extra draw power and dig deeper into your deck without really hindering you at all is really cool. Pot of Extravagance is way cheaper now than it was a while ago, so really excited that it is more available to the player base. I'm also deciding to run triple Dark Ruler No More. This deck is kind of susceptible to negates. I mean, obviously this is like a rogue deck matchup, hopefully is what you're playing it against. So Dark Ruler No More, it helps out a lot. If you don't want to play this, that's fine, but it just helps kind of break through some negates, because I mean, you might get hit with a few and pass, and that's not really something you want to do, especially when playing this deck. Moving on to the traps, I'm just playing double Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. A lot of people don't play this at 2, and that's totally fine. You do not have to, but I really like this card a lot, so I'm playing it at 2. You target an Armed Dragon monster you control, and it gains 1,000 attack for each Armed Dragon monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than it, and with different names from each other. Also, for the rest of this turn, your opponent takes no battle damage from its attack, so it can get beefy quick. It can get beefy quickly. It really can. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Armed Dragon spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand, which is really cool. You only use one Armed Dragon Thunderbolt effect per turn, and only once that turn. Honestly, I mean, you could play this at 1 if you wanted to. You don't actually need to. I just personally like the card a lot for some reason, so I'm running it at 2. And then lastly, I'm just playing triple Imperm. If you don't want to play Imperm or don't have Imperm in this rogue deck, totally fine. I mean, you can play, maybe you can play some Forbidden Chalice, maybe throw in some Effect Veilers or something like that. That's totally fine. You don't have to, run Imperm. So that's actually it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. Okay, so for the extra deck, I'm running some ranked 10s. I'm running one number 35, Ravenous Tarantula. This card is just, I like it a lot. What it does is, all monsters your opponent controls gain attack and defense equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's. Excuse me, all monsters you control. Woo! While this card has Exceed material, each time your opponent special summons a monster, inflicts 600 burn damage to your opponent. And then once per turn, you can detach a material from this card to destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to this card. So you don't really have to run this. You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I do like this card. I'm running, of course, one Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, one Super Dora, and then one Juggernaut Liebe. I say Liebe. I know it's not Liebe, but I like Liebe better. I think it sounds cooler. I don't have the secret rares yet. I was really excited this card got reprinted too. You can get it for like $3 secret rare on TCG, and that's really awesome. And then I'm playing one Divine Arsenal Aezu Sky Thunder because it's just an exceed win condition card pretty much. This card's freaking insane, man. Anytime I'm running basically 2 or more exceeds, I'm running this card. I know it's still expensive if you don't have it. You can definitely substitute for something else. For the links, just running one Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, one IP Masquerena, one Nightmare Cerberus, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Nightmare Unicorn, and then one Boral Sword, one Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax, one Apollosa, one Access Code, and then one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Now, do understand, these last two are a little more, this is definitely expensive. This is a little, since it's like $30, so if you want to substitute it for something else, literally anything else, like the great thing about this is kind of like Witchcrafters, it's not extra deck reliant whatsoever. You can literally mold it to whatever, extra deck you need it to be, or kind of in your budget, that's totally fine. None of these are, staples for the Armed Dragon Thunder deck. None of these are mandatory, so that is the really awesome thing about decks like this, is that there's a lot of wiggle room for the extra deck. So yeah, guys, that's actually it for this deck profile. I do hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I was super thrilled. I'm pretty sure I called Steve, or I messaged Steve immediately at like 2 in the morning, and was like, man, the Armed Dragons are coming back. Like that's just so awesome. I'm so excited about it. It's not terribly expensive. Armed Dragon Flash is sitting at like $8, and you need a playset of that. I can't remember where level 10 is at the moment, but it's not terribly expensive. You can make it for pretty cheap now. Do recommend you guys give it a shot if you haven't already done so, especially if you really love the original ones like I did. And again, if you want to run the original level 10, I see that a lot of times. You can do that. I still don't have one. So that's why I'm not running it. But yeah, guys, that is it for the deck profile. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're here and you haven't already done so, now's a great time to subscribe. Hit the bell so you can become part of the notification team so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. It says, hey, Noble, I love your videos. Like your content. And just, allows me to sleep great at night and allows my videos to circulate around YouTube, which is like super critical for a small YouTuber like myself. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.